What's up, people? We're going to talk about slow drops today. Why? Because, well, I post a lot of videos on all different types of skills, and in those videos there's a lot of ancillary shots of me just riding off of various drops in the woods, natural drops. We're not talking bike park drops. And I get a lot of questions like, how do you ride that drop so slow? Or tell me how you rode that drop so slow. Or I wish I could ride drops that slow. The point of this video is I'm going to talk about what my thoughts are as I ride drops slowly. I'm going to take some slow motion content, some slow motion video, send it to the Slanted Ground headquarters. I'm going to take it into the studio and break it down, and I'm going to talk to it and make sense of it and help you guys understand the idea behind slow drops. I know it looks much smaller on camera, but where you would land, I would say, would be like right here. And we'll call that like 4 feet, like maybe a little bit over 4 feet. Certainly something that is sketchy to ride off slowly. All right, so say you're coming in, and I'm gonna come in with the speed that this trail offers. You gotta go around here, it's a little tight through there. And that's what the drop looks like at speed with a couple pedal strokes. What we're going to do is we'll take a crazy route up to it. That way I'm forced to go super slow. Let's figure this route out. Let's go up here, go up and around this way. The drop is right up there, so it's gonna be slow. Okay, here we go. There it was, slow and smooth. Maybe we can go even slower. Let's go slower. Pretty slow. There it was, pretty darn slow, I'd say. Before we head back to the studio to analyze that video, let's quickly talk about the push method. You see me up here? I hope you can see me. So what is the push method? Well, the push method is the idea of pushing your bike forward at the onset of the drop. And what happens is when you go off slow, you're hanging out here at this in-between area for a little bit longer than you want to be. And gravity's always pushing on you, but when there's nothing under you, gravity's going to continue pushing on you and your front end's going to drop. The idea behind the push method is you push your front end off and push your rear axle off to clear the edge before that beautiful bastard gravity pushes your front end down. All right, so check out this line right here. We'll do it right here. You see this line? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but just in this general area here, this line represents the edge of our drop. Yo, all right guys, so let's take a look at the push method. We're going to slow it down, look at it in detail, and I'm going to explain the two main reasons why I do not like the push method. You see my mouse pointer here, this will be important for you to follow. So let's do this. So here we are in slow motion. Here's the push method. Now I'm coming in like a good boy should. My knees are over my toes, you know, my elbows are out, chin's over the stem. I'm spotting my drop. I'm potentially spotting my landing. So everything looks good right here. But where it goes wrong in my eyes is the push method. So let's talk about the issues that I have. So here it is, I'm scooting the front wheel out. I'm pushing off of the edge of the drop because I want to clear both my axles off the edge before gravity does its thing with me. The problem is, first problem is that when you push forward, it really puts your body mass in a weird place on your bike, right? We want to use our body mass to drive our arcs, whether it's a drop or a jump, and this is stalling out our body mass and it's putting it all behind our rear wheel. We want our body mass to be centered on the bike. That's the first issue that I have with it. It just puts you in a bad position to maintain your body mass momentum and maintain like centered control on the bike. So here's the other issue that I have with it. So when I scoot my bike forward, my body mass kind of just stalls. And what it does is it kind of like causes a moment of stalling on my rear wheel. You can really see it here if you look for it. So see right here, right there, it's kind of stalled. So let's look at that again in slow motion. So there I am pushing to get off of the drop. And right here, all my body mass momentum has stopped. And it's causing me to stall. So So right here I stalled. Now if this were a drop right here, I would have stalled with my axle right on the edge. That could potentially lead to a bad outcome. Okay, so now let's talk about how I would ride any drop. As long as I had, sufficient speed for, this is how I do it. So I'm coming in and I'm high on the bike. I always ride high on the bike when I approach a drop because I need this space here between my chest and my bars. But you can see that my knees are still over my toes and my chin is still over my stem, and I am spotting the edge of the drop and I'm spotting my landing. So again, I'm high there, and as I leave the drop, I just sink into my bike. I absorb my bike. I drop with my body mass into the bike. The reason why I do that is because that means my body mass is in control of the arc. My body mass is controlling my motions from here to the ground. I'm not relying on whatever the drop does for me over here, or whatever gravity, decides to do with me if I'm kind of off balance. I'm controlling the balance. I'm driving my body back to the ground because ideally I want to be back to the ground as soon as possible to regain control. Now, as I come in for the landing, I start to open up a little bit and I nose into the landing. The reason why nosing into the landing is so important is because it gives us not only immediate steering control over the bike, it also distributes the impact over a longer period of time. So if both my wheels landed at the same time, that impact would hit me instantaneously and drive straight up through the bike into my body. When I nose into the landing, it spreads it out over a little bit of a longer period of time, so it travels through my fork and through my bike and through my rear suspension, and then because I landed open, I can then use my body as a third measure for suspension, and this gives me great control as I ride away from the drop. Now, one thing I want to mention is as I rise up and sink into the bike, I'm very relaxed in my arms because essentially I just want to absorb all of this. I just want to roll off of this like liquid. I just want to flow off of it smooth and cleanly. And to do so, I have to have relaxed arms. If I were stiff, I'd come off and I would feel all of these different angles and stuff because I'm not absorbing them with my body. So I'm coming off relaxed, and to do so, my arms row a little bit. So my chest goes down into my bike and then the bike falls away from me. Okay, and my arms row out a little bit. That's completely normal. Let's look at it one more time. High, and I just sink into my bike. You see, I don't do any pushing or shifting backward. So now let's take a look at the slow drop. So this is the example of when I came in very, very slowly. Now, my chin is still over my stem, my knees are over my toes, and I'm still well hinged. I'm well balanced over the bottom bracket. If I did nothing at this speed, it would be as if I tried to roll this, and I would end up easily on my face. So I need to do something. So what is it that I do? So in the previous example, the example where I had ample speed, I was already standing high right here, and I was just ready to sink and fall into my bike. But here I need to change it up a little bit because, kind of like the push method suggests, I need to unweight my front wheel. And to do so, I actually don't want to impact the momentum of my body mass coming off of the drop like the push method would. Rather, I want to continue that smooth, fluid motion of my body mass. So how do I unweight the front wheel without scooting the bike forward? Well, what I do is I approach it as I would any other drop, but instead of rising up early and sinking into it, I rise up at the last minute, okay? Right here, I rose up. You can see it. It's real subtle, but it's aggressive. Subtle and aggressive. Now, I didn't push, so my arms didn't fully extend. There's still a lot of bend in my arms, okay? And what that did was it unweighted my front end, and it put me in this perfect position right here where I'm back to how I would ride any drop, where I just sink into it with my body mass and control the arc, right? Let's go back and look at it one more time real quick. So it's important to know that this motion here is not a bunny hop, right? I didn't bunny hop. I didn't do an English bunny hop. I didn't do an Australian bunny hop, not a South African bunny hop. All I did was just raise up with my body mass, and it unweighted my front end just enough that I could then become like liquid and fall into my bike. Okay, so now at this point, I've unweighted my front end. I'm still level here. I didn't scoot, didn't do any pushing. just unweighted the front end and I'm still in a great position on the bike. However, because I'm traveling slow, so the time frame here between my bottom bracket clearing the edge of the drop and my rear axle clearing the edge of the drop will be a little bit longer. I still don't want to hang up, but because that's such a short distance here, all that I have to do is absorb it. So I absorb it right here. This is me absorbing it, and I'm not pushing the bike. Essentially, I'm just letting the front end fall away in control, right? I'm not pushing with my arms. I have a light grasp on my bars, and my arms are really loose, and just letting the bike fall away just enough, right? That I know that my rear wheel has cleared that sharp edge. And then I just extend upward for the landing. That's probably the most natural part of any drop, is preparing for the landing. And again, I land front wheel first. I nose into the landing as I would on any other drop. I'm centered over the bike and I handle the impact super smoothly, super well, and I'm total control here to ride out and, tackle whatever comes next. As with any new technique that you are working on, make sure that you start small. So find small little drops that you can practice and experiment, and really fine tune your timing, because timing is important. But I promise you that once you have timing worked out, it's going to make slow drops easy. Slow drop.